Chapter 8. Attaining the Supreme. A person who has accepted the path of devotional service is not bereft from the results derived by studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving in charity, or pursuing philosophical or fruitive activities. Simply by engaging in devotional service, one can attain all this, and in the end he reaches my eternal abode. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. According to the Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fourth night of the waning moon, or the 6th month when the sun passes to south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back. Those who know the Brahman attain to that Supreme by passing away from this world during the influence of light, during the influence of fiery God, the light. At an auspicious moment of a day, during the fourth night of the waxing moon, or during the 6th month when the sun travels in the north. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the two ways of passing away from this world, by which the yogi does or does not come back. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotional service. Although he is present in his own abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. That which the Vedantis describe as unmanifested and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, the place from which, having gone, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. And yet, there is another unmanifested nature, which is eternal and transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all these worlds are annihilated, that part remains as it is. Again and again, with the arrival of Brahma's day, all living beings come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all helplessly annihilated. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifested from their unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are all merged into unmanifest again. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's day, and such also is the duration of his night. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. After attaining me, the great sages who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. For those who always remember me, I am easy to obtain, because of their constant engagement in devotional service. Being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will attain to the spiritual planets. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements. Closing the doors of all the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Those who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkar, and who are great sages in renounced order of life, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. One who, at the end of his life, fixes his life hair between the eyebrows by the strength of yoga with an undeviated mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, attains to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should meditate upon the Supreme Lord as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, the one who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conceptions, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature. He who meditates upon me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose mind is constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, will certainly attain me. Therefore, O Arjuna, you should always think of me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me, with your mind and intelligence fixed on me, certainly you will come to me without doubt. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that very state he will attain without fail. And whoever, at the end of his life, quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun and the moon, is called Adidaiva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the Supersoul in the hearts of all embodied beings, am called Adiyagya, the Lord of Sacrifice. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma. Action pertaining to the development of material bodies of living entities is called karma, fruitive activities. Who is the Lord of Sacrifice, and how does he live in a body, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What is this? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me.